What's going on, YouTube? Pistol Pete here today to talk about my two favorite folders to date. So, things change obviously as you get different knives and try different things. As you all know from seeing my channel, I have a shit ton of folding knives. So, and I do rotate them in and out through my carries, day by day. And sometimes I'll carry a couple at a time, or just, one at a time, or just to get the feel of the different ones and the use of each one and see which one I like, feels good in the hand, which one I think cuts good. And of course I have multiple favorites, but these are the two that I seem to go back to the most when I go out. So, when you reach down and I have all these folders to choose from, it seems like I always pick these two more than the rest. So, and that's just to date. I mean, it might change in the future, but I just want to give you guys my opinion and what I think, and maybe you guys can tell me in the comments below, or if you guys have a favorite that you seem to go to and you like a lot. For me, these are my two. And we'll start. I'm going to show them here. First one is going to be the Airlight by Cold Steel. And this one's Os 10A steel. And I just love it. I love this little knife. I mean, for small tasks, this is the one, obviously the smaller out of the two. And, no surprise, both of them are going to be Cold Steel. When it comes to folders, I think they have the best in the market. As you all know, I'm not a Spyderco fan at all, so I count those out. And yes, there's other good manufacturers. And real quick, to go back to it, because I know there's going to be some people getting pissed off about that. When I say I don't like Spyderco at all, not because they're not good knives, so don't get that wrong. I know they're good knives, made with good steel, good materials. I just don't like the look of them. I don't like the feel of them. That's just me. You might love them, so each his own, right? So, but for me, my favorite manufacturer for folders is Cold Steel. There's a lot of other ones out there, Spartan, and I mean, there's a bunch, that I can name off. But so far I said Cold Steel is my favorite for folders. They have the triad lock, really good steel, real good heat treat. This one and it's super thin. Look at the thinness of that. I mean, it fits in the pocket perfectly. So for a smaller everyday, something you could pull out. I work in office settings, so I can't be carrying a big old huge folder when I go to the office. And then just going around town and stuff like that, I like carrying this. Hey, the other one too, I'm going to show you the other one too, and I'll give you the reasons why. And we'll go over some other knives that I brought out just to compare, and I'll give you my reasons why I think these two are so good. This Airlight is just awesome with the G10 handles here. And this one is big enough to where you have a knife in the pocket, but still super comfortable. And it's like, to me, it's the perfect length. Perfect length. I'm not going to go over all the specs on it because obviously I did individual videos for all these already. And if you want, you can go back and look at my reviews on each individual review. Today's just talking about, for comfort and feel, why I think these are my favorite. So this one here is great for the pocket. And then number two for the bigger folder is the Espada Large. The Espada Large. Back that up. And I think this is just so perfect and even for everyday carry. Same reason. It's light. It's super light. It's thin. Got the G10 handles, so it feels comfortable in the hand. Different positioning. All these different positionings that if you've seen Cold Steel in the videos, it's meant for self-defense. But this is just an all-around great utility knife. And you might ask, then, why do I would carry something this big? I think it's great to have also a big folder, like Lim Thompson said in his videos, and you can go back and see what he talks about with big folders. You can do everything that you can with a small folder with a big folder, but you still can't do everything with a small folder you can do with a big one. So this right here is great. It gives you that reach for chopping. If you need to chop something down, branches, you're out. Anywhere. This could use done tons of use for this. And I do carry this quite often, and this conceals and hides really well. When this is in the pocket, it literally just sticks out like this much out of the pocket. So that's just this. People can, as long as you have, unless you're wearing super skinny jeans or some shit, but if you're wearing normal pants or normal jeans, you don't know this is a huge ass knife in the pocket. And I can still fit other things in here and be comfortable. I could put my wallet or keys or whatever else in here and feel comfortable with this one. So these two are going to be my go-tos. This one here is mainly for utility, carrying around. I'll carry these together too. And even with these together, I still don't know these are in my pocket. I can feel them slightly, but they're not by any means uncomfortable. They're really comfortable. The clip on this is fat and wide, works really great. The clip on this is more skinny and narrow, little, but the knife is big enough, and it feels really comfortable in the pocket. have no complaints with either one of these or the clips. You know, some people say, oh, you know, Cold Steel has really tight clips that are hard to get in and out. I have personally have no issues with either one of these coming sliding in and out of the pocket easy. Any type of pants I'm wearing, and I did no modification to either one of these clips. Just works great. I love this feature for especially for a bigger knife. For the smaller stud ones, you like something like this, you don't really need. I guess you could put one on, or people put something called snaggle tooth on there, and that helps deploy the knife. But this one here just has the Andrew Demko thumb plate. People argue who invented that, but I'm just gonna go with Cold Steel, what they call it. And the thumb plate helps for fast deployment. It catches on the pocket and flips open fast. So for fast deployment out of the pocket, you pull it out, pop, you have it right open for you. And if for self-defense, that's perfect. You don't use one hand to hold back, the other hand to pull it out, pop it, and then do what you need to do, defend yourself if that's the situation you're in. Again, know your laws too, because certain places you can't have a knife over, you know, depending on where you're at, 3 inches, 5 inches. You know, this is a 5.5 inch blade here. And you got to think also in law, what's good, you know, if you go to court, something happens, you know, they're going to pull it out. So this might be a little bit on the you might get in trouble side in some places. So like I said, know your laws. But for me, these two are awesome. Utility, self-defense, and this is too utility, and also, like I said, out in the woods, bushcrafting or whatever, these will hold up. Triad lock as well. So, and I've been, like I said, I always go to these two. And I'll show you some other ones that to compare with it, and I'll tell you why. Now, something like this, I love to carry and stuff. And and this is something like my grandpa would carry, and he used to carry and stuff. And these are great little knife, great little blades, little slip joint knives here. Has 2 different blades on it. Awesome, sharp. This is a Frost Cutlery one with an engraving in the, I don't know if I could pick it up, but the engravings inside on the handle itself is awesome. That eagle with trees. It's just a beautiful pocket knife. But I've almost lost this knife like 10 times. I go to the gym, I'm doing stuff, you know, working on the truck, working on the car. This has fell out of my pocket so many times. And a few times this has fell out of my pocket. Someone else told me, hey, you dropped something. And if they didn't tell me that, this would have been gone. So since it has no clip and it's small, you lose it in your pocket. And that's what I'm talking about. Like where these other ones, they're super comfortable, but you kind of know they're in your pocket still, right? When you're reaching in there. There's times I threw this through the washer a few times. I mean, you just, sometimes, you know, you pull everything out and you think you pulled the knife out and it's at the bottom of your pocket. So that's why I don't, you know, use something like this. Same thing with this one. I love this little knife here. This is the M-Tech little, like, M-Tech little, what do they call that? Clip style blade. It almost reminds me of a mini, this one I told you like before, what the hell is it? A Cold Steel Frenzy, a mini Frenzy to me. It's awesome. It's a push button lock. So, I mean, super fast deployment. There. I'm not doing it right here. There we go. I just got to get the feel of it again. Sitting down, but it's smooth. It's me messing this up. But super fast deployment. You can use the side clip there and do it. So I love this one. This one's fast, quick. But again, this one too, I've almost lost because of the size, since it's so small. You know, this one's a little bigger, obviously, than this one. So, I mean, this one's less. So I still will carry this a lot. And I love this knife. I love both these knives. They're great. But this one has fallen on it even. And if you clip it into your pocket, you know, I could do that. But I tend to just, something this small, you tend to just throw in your pocket. Like, you know, I would say most people that I know just will throw something like this in their pocket and then tends to slip. And it's smooth, right? There's no texturing. So it's, I mean, you can call that texturing really, but that's just the design. It's solid, right? So this right here, you can easily slip out of your pocket. Again, when I'm at the gym, driving, I found this numerous times in the bench seat of my truck, you know, because I'm like, oh shit, it's in here. I thought I had it in my pocket. Damn. And I almost lost this a few times just because of the size of it. And then now I'm going to go to the bigger one now. Why I picked and let me show you real quick before I go move on. So let me just show you. This is, again, why I picked this one. For me, perfect size compared to these two. So here's this. I mean, this is awesome too, but this one, the one I tend to grab the most, the Airlight, I always, it has the, I mean, because, following up here. This one has a G10 handle, so it has grippy, so it grips into your pocket. It's less likely to slide out from your pocket. And you also, when you clip it into your belt, you still feel like something's in there, and you feel like you want to clip this one on, so because it's a little bit bigger. So, and since it's so thin, it doesn't bother me at all in my pocket at all. So that's why I pick it compared to something like that. That's that, you know, that small compared to that. And then obviously, you know, come on, that's why I picked this. Is like for everyday carry, kind of something like this size is perfect for me. Perfect, you know. And now let's move on to the big ones. So now I love it. I love this knife here, which is the Spartan. I love the Spartan by Cold Steel. Cool design, cool look, fat blade, thick, but this thing does feel like a damn brick in the pocket. It feels like a brick in the pocket. I mean, it's just a thick ass knife. And of course, this is triad lock too. Most of these are triad locks with Cold Steel. Still has the Andrew Dimko thumb plate for flipping it open, fast deployment. Just for me, it's a little uncomfortable. This one is so bulky compared. And then look at this. Let me show you guys the size difference. Look at this. This one is still way bigger. It's still, I mean, blade's bigger, the handle's bigger. It's a bigger knife altogether, just a bigger knife. But this one is a hell of a lot slimmer than this one. I shouldn't say hell of a lot, but it's slimmer. And in the pocket, and I was gonna tell you, I weighed these on my little scale, and they both weigh the same. So for the size of this big one, this one is still a heavy brick. And you know, I mean, people probably argue with me that, hey, you know, they weigh the same, they shouldn't, you know, but something about the way this, you put it in your hand, if this feels heavier. This little knife feels heavy. Oh, they're both not little knives, they're both big knives, but this knife here feels heavier than this one. It feels like it, but I put it on the scale, they weigh the same. Maybe because the weight's just distributed all the way through the whole length. But I mean, but for me, this one feels comfortable in the more comfortable in the pocket than this one. This one feels like a brick. This one feels like you can't, you know, you put other stuff in your pocket, it's almost uncomfortable when you're sitting down and moving around. So that's why I didn't pick that one. And all you know, the big daddy, the Espada Xl, is this one. I love this knife too. This is a freaking awesome knife, but and realistically though, are you going to carry something this big every single day? Some people do. Some people do. You can, and it is pretty comfortable, but again, it's a freaking pocket sword. And this is pretty much uncomfortable. This sticks out pretty damn far out of your pocket, and it takes up almost all your pocket. I mean, unless you have super deep pockets, this is going to be, I mean, there's clip shows all the way up here, but it's going to sit like more like here, because unless your pocket's super deep, and you're going to have a lot of it sticking out. And again, depending where you're at, the laws, even if it's free state, you get involved with something this big, then why the hell are you carrying a damn pocket sword around? And you know, why even having that on you? You're looking for trouble type of mentality, especially in the court size, right? So you got to think of all that when you're carrying a big pocket knife like this, you know. And this one is still pretty big and it's still questionable, but it's, look at that. I mean, compared to the XL, it's small. It's you know, what's cool about these though, I do love that they're both thin. They're both fairly thin, you know. Obviously this is thicker, but for the size of this one, it's pretty damn slim. So yeah, so, you know, guys, this is my selection, my two. These ones I seem to go back to every day. And I shouldn't say every day. Most of the days I choose these two more than any other of my carries. Just for those reasons alone, you know, just because, you know, made out of great steels. Both of them, they're both AUS 10A steel, both made by Cold Steel, both have the triad locks, both thin, both fit, placement and pocket is perfect for me. G10 handles, smooth actions, both have super smooth action. You're talking Cold Steel, both razor sharp and keep an awesome edge, and both not that expensive. Both of these are sub $100. So I mean, they're, you know, they're really, for the price, for how for me personally, how they feel, these are my favorites, guys. These are my absolute favorites. So reminder, when I get to 500 subs, I'm gonna be giving away the Black Mule Buoy by Rough Rider. So please like, subscribe, go to that, go to Black Mule Buoy down below, say 500 subbed, and if you're already subbed, then just put 500, so that enters you into the drawing, and you can win that knife. When I get to 500, I'm like at 454, 453 right now. So win something cool, guys. So please like and subscribe, and until next knife, gun, or whatever.